Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you live around the world. Now, this video is going to be called "And Now for Something Completely Different." And those of a particular age and location around the world probably would realise the name or reference to a particular program with that name, and a movie, I believe. Now, we have left off the series where I did the total redraw, and while this isn't a continuation of it, it's still feeding off of the work done to create the dome, the one that is based upon a grid and is of the quad style shape. This one here is the very base of it, which is the hexagon base, you could say, or the look. And you'll know that I modified this to create a rectangle version of this. Now, we come to this and we go, hang on, let me do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 struts? What the is going on here? We all know that domes don't have 7 struts. Well, my contention is, normally you would be correct, but there are some versions that permit this sort of structure to be created. I'm not saying you can or can't or won't or shouldn't have any number of struts that you want, but a dome is really just a way of breaking down a volume, a sphere, into struts or lines to permit the construction of something like this. So it can have any number that you really think beneficial. So we started out by creating this model, transferring it across, using the intersection points to then change how we do things. And the main change was the top triangle or the top square, the 4 triangles, is rotated round 45 degrees so that the point here swings round and is now facing this part here, as we can see. There's a little modification to get everything to join up because this is still largely using the grid to generate the points of the dome. We can see from here up to here, that grid point there is still the intersection here. And that does enlarge the top triangles in this square quite a bit. But that's not going to stop me because we can modify it just as we did with the rectangular version. As I said, we would change the dots that we connected and we would make a rectangle instead of a hexagon in this general area. And then what we did with that is we rationalized the distance from, in this case for the rectangle, from this point here, this strut, to this strut. And what that did was allowed us to have the struts for the rectangle all the same. Whereas if we didn't, they'd be different for the top and different for the bottom. So I decided in my design control to do that. Well, that's exactly what we've done over here as well. So if we look at it on a little bit of an angle, you can see let's get rid of that guide. You can see how big that the square is here, but it's a lot smaller here. More, if I can say it, normal, as when we compare it back to this one. The only triangle in the whole dome that's the same at the moment is this one here. The perimeter or the outline shape of what I refer to as the entrance, that also stays the same, but all the surfaces and struts, etc., of course, change. I'm going to quickly show how I generate that. It's dead simple. It's not as robust or connected to the grid system, but nonetheless, it is connected. It is a derivative of that. And as I said, this rotation of the top 4 triangles gets you to this position here. For those with a more of a purist bent in the geodesic area, you might find this odd to look at. But it's nonetheless, it's like lots of domes, different and functional, or can function. Just like building a zone or some such structure, they look different. You have to appreciate them, and if you do, well, that's great. I'll just hide a couple of things. The honeycomb looks quite different. I'll just get rid of the scaffold. So that looks quite different, of course, as it would. And you'll all know, as we've said, we've got 7 points of intersection here, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So let's just unhide everything. I'll see what I move across. 10 meters, and we'll quickly go over how I got there. Right. We know that the radial measurement, which is from the very center of the sphere, which is this point here, out to this point is 4.5 meters. It's exactly the same as all the other models. The distance, however, from here to this point isn't 4.5 unless we actually force it into its correct position by way of joining a line from the top to the bottom, or from this point here to this point here, and dividing it in half. I'll just show you what I did there. So a line from there to there creates that there, and I take a guide from there, find the center point, and that's where we generate the alignment for this point. And then to make it more sphere-like, I run my line tool from the focal point, and I generate the measurement of 4.5 meters. That's to keep it sphere-like rather than all bumpy. If you don't do that and you retain this shape, you wind up with a little bit of a problem. Not a problem necessarily, but certainly an issue, where these two triangles are quite flat to each other, which is a feature of some dome. Even the rectangular one is a little bit like that. This, not so much, and is actually, in that sense, quite good. There's quite a bit of angle between these two triangles when you do this. So that's how we generate that point. So that's good, but I'll just go back to where, now let's just see how I will explode that and explode again and see what I can and can't delete. Right. But if a lot of these points, all of this will be deleted, so if I make a bit of a muck up, well, you'll catch me. Get rid of that. There's not much that's left. Put it that way. Might just leave it at that. Oh no, let's get rid of that and that as well. Right, so we've not left with much. All I've done here is I've deliberately, for my sake, left this point here, which is the opening. I've left one of these here because it's just going to be easier for me. Not 100% necessary, but nonetheless, give me a little bit of latitude there if you would. Now, I come up here and along this guide, I just type in 4.5. That gives me my intersection point for here. So now I can draw back in that line, which is this strut here. I can draw it out from here to here, from here to here, which is this line here. Didn't really need to do this. In fact, I'll show you if I didn't have this line here. Shows you how stripped down it is. It's a bit like doing a renovation at home. Sometimes you've got to rip out stuff that you really don't want to, but, to get the end result, that's what you do. So from here, you just rotate 90 degrees times 3, And that gives us our points for the top triangle, which I'll now fill in. And it also gives us our points for there. They're the ones that I just removed earlier. And you can see how quickly this particular dome is to draw. Bingo. So nothing particularly hard to do. You do have to understand the process, and upon that you can modify to your heart's content. Are there other shapes available? Yes. Are they wise? Don't know. Could we have maybe a pentagon at the top here? Yes. A hexagon? Yes. What would that do to all the triangles? No idea. Haven't tried it. But can you do that? Yes. But sometimes you'll have it's not it's isolated triangles. But who said you can't? No one's stopping you from doing that. But that might be something I look at in the future. So that's how we created that particular dome. So simple. Just check I haven't hit anything. Right. One of the things, in fact, I'll just hide this just now. Need information in front of us that's not necessary. One of the things that could be seen as beneficial from this structure is that, well, even though this is a busy hub, it's really only a hub with, let's just say we're going with the tab plate type of hub. Well, we've got a hub with 4 tabs on it and another plate with 3 tabs on it. So it's actually not as hard or just as simple, straightforward as any other dome that we'd shown already in the rectangular type version of it. The answer is yes. There is no complexity in this structure simply because there's 7 struts there. The other one that we've got, the rectangular one's got 8 struts, a little bit more regularly spaced around the center point, but this is not too bad actually. So the forces, if we were to think about a load, if it were coming straight down and hitting this point here, would dissipate out along the 4 struts, as would be normal for all the other versions that I've shown thus far. As it would come down, it would then radiate out along 4 other struts. But I'm going to suggest that the main line of or area of force would be down these 2 struts here, which come straight down onto the leg area. I've got hiccups now. And down here. So we can consider that a good path load. Yes, there will be forces coming down here and they dissipate out down these struts, so accept that. But we can view this as quite a straight load path, for want of my view as a builder, not an engineer. An engineer would be saying, no, you can't do that. It's not as simple as that. You'll wind up having problems if you think like that. And quite true, all those points would probably be valid. But I'm not an engineer, so I can say what I want. So yeah, the forces come down here and dissipate down here, and yeah. So what we can also consider or reconsider is the fact that we would have very likely a panel that would insert in there. This for a moment. And we can then think of this structure like we did with the other domes. You don't have to have this here, but it certainly allows for that, thinking of the forces coming down, and then straight down or dissipate out this direction. So this stabilizes this whole area here and gives you a lot of reinforcement to this dome structure. Very similar to the rectangular dome we've looked at before, and of course this one here. Do you have to have this framing here? No. Is it beneficial for the loads? Yes, without question. If you're going to infill the, what I've been calling the entrance area, the side of the dome, having something here is not the worst thing you could include. Like I shown with the horizontal slats screen, could be that, or could be something translucent, transparent, or opaque, whatever you desire. But it certainly takes care of the issue around here, which is necessary to give a little bit more thought. You can't ignore it. So that's not a bad thing, I would suggest, by having the framing in this area here. So it's up to you. Just delete that. Doesn't want me later on. Right, so there we've got the dome. Bit different, very different. And as I said before, for those in the dome mindset, this might not be as pleasant a look than the one that we've got used to over the years. Even the quad style shape may not be what people want. They may want the complete dome coming down and finishing like a more circular type of dome. We'll also understand that. For me, however, it was this particular shape, the specific shape, that allowed me to consider domes once again. Now, not this 7-sided, but this here. And it was the quad, the 4 points of a dome structure, or a 4-point structure that is in the method of a geodesic dome. Anyway, I'm getting muddled up there. But it was this very structure that actually drew me back into looking at it. And hence the rabbit hole I went down to try and find out how I want to be able to draw it, and to draw it to represent the photos I've seen of this particular dome. So, and this is just a side step because, well, it's possible. As I said, there's no restriction to doing this for whatever reason that you want. We're also going to be looking at, in the next video, the alternate differences in how we utilize the models that we've already built up. So that'll be the next one, and you'll have to wait and see that one. That'll be coming out. I'm going to make it straight away, but when it gets posted, I'm not too certain. So there we have it. And now for something completely different, and I think this fulfills that description. Rightio, that's it. Just thought I'd include that just for the sake of, well, I'm not going to say thoroughness, but I just thought I'd include it. Why not? Rightio, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, see you later. Bye.